What's up, everybody? Coming in directly with the long man tonight. Of course, I'm Andrew Esquire, and this is Legal Mindset. We teach you to be your own judge. Sorry, guys, was having some technical difficulties as I was messing with my setup today, moving stuff around. As you guys know, I'm moving shortly out of this apartment, so things got a little crazy. So. Mi scusi. But it's good to see everybody here today. We're going to have a lot to talk about. Also, I threw at the end of this stream, just talking quickly, I think, about the MyHolo TV winding down. So we're going to start with talking about AnyColor versus Weebcon. Obviously, that's one I haven't had a chance to comment on yet. And there's some potentially criminal stuff that went on there, which is kind of crazy. So we'll talk about that first. And then we're going to talk about Helldivers 2. And Helldivers 2, I was also looking for something that somebody sent me. And if you were the one who sent this, go ahead and forward it over. But we're going to go into the PS2 Sony PC bait and switch that happened with Helldivers 2 and how that is leading up to some craziness. But also there was a thing on that about Face ID. We'll talk about that. And I could have sworn I had a like a PDF showing them or a picture showing them they were bringing in Face ID and other things like that. But I'm not positive because now I can't find it anymore. But I've got a bunch of other documents on Helldivers, so we got a lot on that. And then we'll do the MyHolo TV wind down. So we'll get all these things today, and we're going to have some fun while we're doing it. Like one dickhead dropping 5 Legal Mindset memberships. Thank you very much.
Hello, beso de pato, man.
Appreciate you coming out here tonight in the morning, evening, or wherever you are in the world. Discord, we're not going to do Discord today. Discord will be another day. There's a lot of stuff. Guys, there's so many legal issues. We're also going to do the TikTok bill another day. I haven't had a chance to read it yet. So, and I know there's a lot there. But yes, I have survived all Niji assassination attempts. Thank you for checking on me. Also, I am currently in the process because all of the streamers right now, all of these little petty fools are fighting over how many females they have in their audience. But I mean, let's be real. We're, this is the Legal Mindset. We're only real here. All of these people, I mean, they're all really, all of these content creators, they're all just angry incels. They're all just angry dudes. Even Rima. Rima is secretly a dude. Everyone knows this. It is a fact. So these guys are all sitting here fighting Parrot, Rima. They're fighting over their percentage females, right? They're like, oh, look, I've got 50%. Yeah, but you're still majority. You're still majority incel. Sorry about that, bro. But instead of us fighting over who's the king of all dudes, what I think we should really be fighting on is how many Filipinos do you have? Because I have more Filipinos than Canadians. Shout out to the Philippines. Big love for the Philippines. Jollibee taking the W today with 7.8%, beating out Canada. Fucking Canada. What's new? Justin Trudeau being treated like his dad or his mom with Fidel Castro. Well, his dad was watching. But yeah, look at that. Philippines is like Fidel. It's just like cucking out Canada. I love it. I absolutely love it. Looking great here. So what we really need to do, what I really want to know from all these people is, do you have Filipinos? If you don't, get out of the kitchen. That's all I'm saying. Don't cook with Legal Mindset unless we got at least some adobo. Come on. I appreciate all y'all. Unhander, 5 Legal Mindset memberships. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Andre said, welcome late, man. Oh, I'll do it again. I'll do it again for you. Andre.
Long,
Just for you, Andres. Are you aware of the attempt at suing Ubisoft for removing the crew? Also, AKG headphones. I have heard about that. A couple people have sent me that one, Garama. That's on my topic list. I'll say this. This is why I take a little bit longer, because I actually do research, because I want to provide educational information for you guys, not just like, oh man, this is bad, right? And actually teach you a little bit or have a different angle on that requires some research. So frankly, I haven't done enough legal research into that specific topic yet, but I am going to look at it because it's outside my normal purview, right? It's outside my normal purview. So when we get into Helldivers, just being clear, I don't litigate EULAs. It's not my specialty. However, I know enough about it to be dangerous. Also, an EULA at the end of the day is just a contract, right? So an end user license agreement, or EULA, is just a form of contract. It's a contract between you as the user and the person who is allowing you to use the thing. That's what an EULA is. So essentially, when you're looking at an EULA, it's no different than saying, is this other contract valid or is this other contract void? If they put something in that contract that is manifestly against the principles of contract, which we will talk about today, yeah, that's not a thing. That's not a thing at all. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to get into that today, especially when we get into the Helldivers point. Cleric Ento, what's going on right now? 20, thank you so much, guys. Please say thank you to the Cleric in the chat. Guys, may the blessings of Ito, may the blessings of Ito rain upon all of you, my children, right? And let's start.
Not a sin. I cannot absolve you. Mega based.
Chat interested. The chat had a long wait. That just makes you more thirsty. It's all good. It's all good. Thirsty for good information. And Alugzin, welcome as a member. Really appreciate you. Appreciate all you guys coming as members. We're going to do more member streams. We're doing at least one a month, but I think we're going to have to bump it up to 2 a month because there's just enough of you that this is justified now, and I can say, well, okay, we're doing 2 member streams a month. Plus, I love member streams because they're actually like, member streams are kind of off the cuff. They're more a little bit of AMA. There's less people in the chat, so I can follow everything that's being said in the chat, right? So I do appreciate that and like those member chats. Thank you, Crimson Plat, for the 5, and King Lugia for the 1. Thank you, Crimson Splat, and also King Lugia. Appreciate you guys. But yes, somebody asked, are these AKG headphones? These are AKG headphones. They're very good. They're my favorite headphones so far. I have some Audio Technicas, but they're too small for my ear. My ear is like this Chad-sized ear. It's not like the beta, the beta Bing Bing ear, the little tiny ear. No, this is like a giant manly man's ear. So it needs a very large receiver. Good morning from Sweden. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. I was just in IKEA the other day. I mean, we're talking Sweden, right? We're talking Sweden. Appreciate y'all. All right. Let's get started here. But actually, you know what? Let's start with a clip. So somebody sent me this clip beforehand. So this is Fillion got used by a mobile game.
Didn't know her signature model is used by a mobile game company. What do you want me to do, Chad? What do you want me to do? I cannot stop them because the model I use is public. Literally anybody can grab it. And furthermore, this is an AI generated video. So it's technically not even this model. So there's 2 layers of gray zone that these people are inhabiting. They're like, between like the effing there's like Venus, which is too close to the sun. There's like Uranus, which is too far away. And they're like right in the effing Earth hemisphere where they can use this and I can't do anything about it.
That's a really good one. Thank you for that. Appreciate that one. I think it was Hypnotic and Rapture sent me that one. We'll have some more clips later as well. All right. So let's talk about Nijisanji. So I'll play the false video. But this is there's the full kind of source that will pull up afterwards, but there's the first couple minutes of this false video, first 3 minutes or so, that are important for some context to this. So let's get here. This is on Niji being dropped from the convention and also involving himself. So we'll play the first 3 minutes of this false video for some context, and then we'll get into how Nijisanji may have committed a crime in the state of Texas. Continue.
It was a threat. That is, today we turn back to VTuber agency Nijisanji, alongside Texas anime convention Weebcon, and also included in this top story is myself. Turning back 1 year ago, when Nijisanji had struck not 1, not 2, but 10 of the videos on our YouTube channel, those strikes later overturned. But as it turns out, that was not the end of Nijisanji targeting us, as weeks later I would virtually be attending a panel at Weebcon.
So Weebcon, important fact here, this is legally important. Weebcon is American. So now we've stepped into the Thunderdome, bitch, right? A lot of people are like, Andrew, you're not a Japanese lawyer. You're not an Indonesian lawyer. You're not a lawyer for North Korea. No shit, Sherlock, right? But I am an American attorney. And when we're back in America, America laws apply. So we're going to talk about some America laws because this is a long, long convention in Texas, in Grapevine, Texas, at the Gaylord. And no, it is not Andrew being, as the Niji sisters want to say, homophobic. That is actually the name of the resort, the Gaylord Texan Resort right there. There you go, right there. So let's continue here.
This also being a convention that Nijisanji English's Aluna group was virtually attending. And as with numerous other VTubers at this event, I had a standee. Numerous convention guests taking the opportunity to borrow these VTuber standees and place them around the convention, leading to this photo that was sent to me.
Okay. This is just fucking funny. Okay? Like, let's be real. This is just really, really funny. By the way, there's some huge Gaylords in Florida. The Gaylord Resort in Orlando, huge, biggest Gaylord I've seen of all the Gaylords, right? So just so you know, I've been to I've been inside the Gaylord a couple of times. Like there was one time of the year where the Gaylord is really popping because it's got all these ice sculptures and stuff, you know, in the winter. It's very nice, very nice. In Orlando, of course.
My standee prominently placed in front of the Aluna group, that then leading me to post that picture on Twitter, alongside the caption of, "I came to the wrong neighborhood." This actually being a scheduled tweet, as I had just arrived in Tokyo, Japan. 7 hours after that tweet was put.
Oof. See, this is what false gets. Everybody, guys in the chat, I see you in the chat, and I know what you are.
Degenerates. You guys degenerates.
I see you there. I see you there, guys. But yes, Scarla, woo, yeah, Scarla's up in there with her Starbucks. For sure. Oh God. But yes, we've got a lot of the members here. And this is what false gets for doing a later, like kind of a later post, or, you know, kind of the set the post to go up and be on a plane or be in the air. This is what happens. I oftentimes, when I have like videos that have trouble or have issues or get like strikes or warnings, they're usually when I'm traveling, because I'll put up a clip or something else like that when I'm traveling, and then it'll get flagged. So this is what happens. The drama always happens when you're in transit.
Posted out, I then would receive this message. This by way of my third-party contact with Weebcon, alerting me on April 12th of 2023, saying, "Hey, false."
So we're going to read through all of this as well. So I'm going to pull this through and we'll read through everything, but this is just him reading through it as a first run. But this is very important, because if this is true, then everything is actionable. If this is not true, then it's not. Now, I don't know who his contact is. I'm taking him at face value. I'm also taking it at face value that False did not completely make this up. Now, I don't think he would, right? That's my personal assessment of him, because we talk and he's been nothing but straightforward, upright, and also, not trying to make stuff up. False does not like pass me a bunch of information or try to get me to work it up. I usually will ask him for a bit of information. He'll forward me a link, right? So I don't think he made this up, but once again, in order to bring it into court, you would have to validate this. So you would need somebody to come in and say, this document is true and the statements made in this are true. Someone would need to testify to this. So whether or not somebody is willing to get on the stand and under oath say this, or in a deposition say this, is a much different thing than them being bold enough to say it in a Discord DM, right? There's probably a lot of people that are willing to say stuff in a Discord DM that may not be willing to do it under oath. But speaking of doing it, welcome Manachin as a new member of the RPG, and also Kid Loco. Thank you for dropping the One Legal Mindset membership. Also, Pixie Dragon says, at Amazon, we carry around huge gaylords full of packages. Well, that's interesting. That's interesting. If your warehouse is as big as a gaylord, that's a pretty big warehouse. Just saying. And Charlie said, so like laying the foundation for evidence. Yes, you need to have actual evidence that's verified. This alone would not stand up in court unless somebody is willing to testify as to its authenticity, right? So you need a human behind it, right? We need a human behind it. All right, so let's continue here.
I wanted to relay some dumb politics to you. Weebcon is asking if you could possibly remove the post about being in the wrong neighborhood with the Niji cast in the back. We don't care about any of that, but I guess they are threatening Weebcon hard with making sure they can't book Japanese voice actors and stuff next year if it's not taken down and stuff. It's up to...
Okay. So we'll get into that. That one statement is the statement that is the money shot. So we're going to go and we're going to really look at that tomorrow.
You in the end, but they wanted to ask if that was possible and apologize for the annoying politics Niji is bringing to the event.
Sorry, I accidentally said tomorrow, so I got to play it. I got to play it.
Yeah, you'll be there, okay? Today! Today. Not tomorrow. Today! Today!
There we go. Since I said tomorrow. All right.
Event with this. They are working on cutting ties to Niji so they won't be involved in 2024. Again, so sorry for being the middleman to give you this request. Weebcon said it's all up to you. It could be a possible empty threat, but that could hurt the convention a ton next year if it's not. I would then go on to immediately delete that tweet. My contact further replying, thanks a ton, false. They will be
it's kind of funny because at this point the damage was done. Right. So like false deleting the tweet doesn't stop Niji from being butthurt about it. Right. And then he went and put up a YouTube video. So like he kind of took it from one social media that may have gotten less views, because typically I'll say this on X, I do truly believe that less true human beings are viewing posts on X than on YouTube. Because on YouTube, there's a little bit less of the botting going on than on X, on Twitter. There's a lot of accounts that are botting. There's a lot of automated stuff. So with the views on Twitter, I don't always believe that they're 100% human. I think there's a certain percentage of those that are beep bop boop and not real, right? Those views aren't real, bro. So I think he's going to get more viewership on that standee picture versus YouTube. Also, YouTube content creators like myself will cover this and spread it to future and different audiences. So let's say that, from his video, 100,000 people see it. My video, 50,000 people see it. Another video, 50,000 or 20,000 or 10,000. This adds up. Before you know it, 1 million people have seen this standee saying, I'm in the wrong neighborhood. Right.
happy. We all know how annoying Niji is, and that's why Weebcon is done with them after all this. Lastly stating, oh, no troubles at all. We think it's BS that something as harmless as a little joke could cause an issue. So once again, in review, this being a confirmation that Nijisanji had been viewing my social media and even going so far as to target it, applying pressure to a third party, and even going so far as to threaten their way of business.
So there we go. So that's the key there. So we'll stop it right there with false. Thank you, false. The point is that they're, not, and because the thing is, it's not illegal. False is a little bit focusing there at the end on the fact that Niji is watching his socials. Well, no shit. Niji is watching its PR, right? At least somebody, they're paying $7.40 an hour, no better than
monkey とかさ
is watching the Nijisanji social media, and they're relaying to their boss, like, boss, that mean purple man, the purple pony man is talking bad about us again. And that lawyer, that crazy lawyer, let's sick the sisters on him. Let's unleash the NDF. We have to get them both. They must fall and burn for slighting Nijisanji. Yeah, somebody's doing that. Right. Obviously, somebody is turning that. Obviously, that's how the DCMAs go down many times, right? Is somebody is going over there and, is tattletaling, reporting, watching. So they're clearly monitoring. That's not an issue. And it's not illegal to watch other people's social media. If you want to, if false ID, myself and other content creators, maybe Kyo, and maybe Nux, whoever else, right? If Rev, whoever, if we're all living rent-free in Nijisanji's head, that's fine. There's not really a problem with that. It's not illegal, right? For us to be haunting their dreams. That's okay. I'm okay with that. That is in fact.
Not a sin. I cannot absolve you. Mega based.
So, but the illegal part is this thing. Now, this is courtesy of our favorite horse girl, Rima, who reposted just this part, right? So this is the part that you really want to focus on, because it's the money here, which is, I want to relay some dumb politics to you. Weebcon is asking if you could possibly remove the post about being in the wrong neighborhood with the NijiCast in the back. So, okay, so what this is saying this person is a agent of Weebcon. So we're assuming, based on the structure of this, that the person that is asking him to do so has the authority of Weebcon or is inside of Weebcon. So they're acting as what would be called an agent of Weebcon. That's probably enough to speak on behalf of Weebcon, although sometimes a company might say, well, if they're not officially staff, then it might not work. So with a lot of cons, there are volunteers, right? So I used to go to Dragon Con a lot in Atlanta. I also helped a lot out. I went to MomoCon as well, MegaCon, like a lot of different cons in the US, Colossal Con. And there were a lot of volunteers. And a lot of times, for example, at Dragon Con, if you volunteered, you would be given a free pass. So a lot of people would volunteer, for example. And the question is a volunteer going to be somebody who can speak with authority? Maybe or maybe not. A court would be up in the air on whether or not a volunteer could speak on behalf of the organization. Now, certainly, for example, a track director or a program director or any of the executives or the board, right, of that con would be somebody that could speak on behalf of the con. Certainly, if the convention has an LLC and you own the LLC, you're the owner of the con, yeah, you're going to be able to speak on behalf of that, right? Or Colossal Con or MomoCon, any of the conventions, right? We're talking conventions here, right? In the recent news, you guys know about Offkai, for example, has been out there, right? So anybody who actually works for the LLC, that works as an employee, certainly would definitely be able to speak on behalf of them. I don't know this person's exact relationship. So they're obviously sounding like they're speaking with authority, but we don't know this. And I'm telling you guys this so you can give these documents their appropriate authority, right? And say, okay, even if this was brought to court, do we know whether this person has the authority to speak on behalf of the con. Maybe they don't. And maybe what would happen is the actual owner of Weebcon would not be willing to testify against Nijisanji. They wouldn't be able to do it. So if this is just some sort of, friend or some sort of casual part-time volunteer or somebody who's doing it because they know false and they're kind of they have a friend of a friend who's in charge, right? And they're just talking about politics, this would not hold up. They would need somebody else to testify, right? So this, because I know what everyone says. Everyone's going to say, can you sue? And the question is, well, maybe. It depends on a lot of things. This is a very important. But I can sue Iram Amin, who says, you've been inside of a lot of huge gaylords. Careful. The size of the gaylord does not always matter. Sometimes it's how nice it is and how comfortable it is inside. Claire Gito is a new member after gifting the new memberships, is now a new member. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Cleric, for going up to the BLM and upgrading to the BLM level from the replay gang. Appreciate that. Anybody who upgrades becomes the basest Chad out there. So thank you. Have I ever gone to SawCon? No, I have not. Kawa Z Predim says, as dumb as fuck as I can think, at least 2 ways to W in reply to this. It takes really special talent for Kuro to choose one that is a major L. Yes. I mean, they consistently choose losing over winning. Big time. And then here we go. Charlie says, what are the chances that the threats were from someone butthurt who doesn't actually have authority to represent Niji? That's also a possibility. So if Niji didn't actually threaten them, that's a thing. And we're going to talk about evidence because there's an evidentiary standard, particularly in the US, Texas, for example. There's going to be evidence you're going to need for this. So let's get to that part. So here's the next sentence. We don't care about any of that, but I guess they are threatening Weebcon hard with making sure they can't book Japanese VAs and stuff next year if it's not taken down and stuff. So, by the way, it's like, if it's not taken down and stuff, what was the stuff? Was there needing to be an apology? Was there needing to be some sort of retraction, official statement? Did Weebcon even comply? Because False ID took it down, but what is and stuff? What the fuck is and stuff? Did they require them? What do they need? The blood of a virgin waifu? Like, what was needed? Pippa's socks. What did Niji require? What was the and stuff that was required? So whether he even complied by taking it down is unknown. But the part that is definitely a civil infraction and possibly criminal is threatening Weebcon by making sure they can't book Japanese voice actors, VAs, voice actors, and stuff. So let's ignore and stuff, because once again, we don't know what and stuff is. But threatening voice actors. So what this implies is that this year, they have Japanese voice actors that they are currently under contract with. Because typically when a voice actor comes to a convention, there will be a contract between the voice actor and the convention or some sort of agreement, right? Even if it's just an email, even an email can be a written agreement. An email can form an agreement because you have an offer and an acceptance, and that is enough for a written agreement. Even if it's by email, there can be an agreement inferred from a chain of emails. So Weebcon and the Japanese voice actors have an existing relationship this year because the threat is next year. It's a future threat. So what is that? Well, that, ladies and gentlemen, if you look at it in Texas, and once again to confirm, we are in Texas here. This is Weebcon here. It went down at the end of March here in Texas at the Gaylord by majestic Lake Grapevine, real close to DFW. I do like the Grapevine area. It's kind of a cute little empty area outside of Dallas. So went down in Texas, and therefore Texas law applies, and Texas law has something we call tortious interference. And I know, guys, chat, I saw you earlier. Some of you said this already. So points in the chat for those that already said this. I saw some of you calling this in the chat. So this is correct for those that called it in the chat. There's tortious interference with contract, existing contract, and there's tortious interference with a prospective contract or business relation. So there are two ways in which Niji could have fucked up. They could have been interfering with the existing contract that they have with current voice actors and the future prospective contracts that they have in the future with voice actors. So for example, let's say this year they booked a voice actor, the voice actor who played Freerin from Freerin, right? They booked the Freerin voice actor. So they've got Freerin in and they've got her in. Next year, they wanted to book Stark because they did not book Stark this year, and they want to book the voice actor that plays Stark next year. So they've got an existing contract with Freerin and a future contract with Stark, or they're going to try for a future contract with Stark. Well, if Nijisanji came in and shit talked Weebcon and said, "You are not allowed to go. We are threatening you. We are threatening your family. If you go, we are threatening your family. Riku will send a yacht and many Fujoshi assassin arrive and take you all out. So speaketh Riku." Right? If they make those threats to the voice actors, then, and they don't show up, they have both breached an existing contract with Olin Freeman and the future contract with Stark, right? And these are hypotheticals. So, in that case, that is two different violations. So it is relatively easier to prove an existing contract because you have a contract. If a third party willfully and intentionally interfered with the contract, guys, willfully and intentionally interfering is threatening them. And by the way, the damages do not have to be all monetary. Even reputational damages are enough here. And we're going to get into that for the criminal part of this, because there's a criminal part of this. But then if you go to a future contract, you do have to prove there is a reasonable probability you and the other party would reach an agreement. Well. This is Weebcon. So if it's a Japanese voice actor, Weebcon has a very good probability of achieving a contract with a different voice actor, particularly if it's from a similar anime, which is why I said, oh, if they booked Freerin this year and they were going to get Stark, well, Stark is a more minor character from the same anime. You've already booked Freerin. You think I'm going to get Stark next year. It's very doable. It's very easy to prove that. So I think Weebcon could prove both of these if they wanted to take it to the sheets. Now, here is the problem. Here's the problem with suing for tortious interference. Here's the problem. Lawsuits cost a lot of money. And this is why I say this about talents. I say this to other people. A lot of times the victory is going to be the PR victory, like by me covering this and calling it out as illegal, is going to be more beneficial to these companies and these people that have been harmed. These injustices are going to be more efficiently served by them being called out, particularly by a lawyer who can say, yeah, this stuff over here is looking pretty shady and possibly illegal, right? That's going to be more efficient because they don't have to spend any money for me to call this stuff out and to say, yeah, what they're doing here is definitely a tort, a civil infraction, and is likely a criminal action as well, or rather an infraction as well, a criminal, just a crime in general. That's going to be better because it costs a lot of money. And in case you guys don't know, conventions do not make a lot of money. And most conventions are what we would call a labor of love. They are done by people who are, well, this is Weebcon. The people running Weebcon are probably just a bunch of weebs. They're weebs like you and me and everybody else out there, where they're just weebs and they just want to run the convention. So typically most people running conventions are not pulling a profit. So they don't have a bunch of money. I know people think conventions are like, oh my God, the tickets cost so much. Well, guess what? It costs a lot to run a convention. They usually break even. And remember, they have to budget for the year ahead. So a convention has to not only pay for the current year, they've got to pretty much immediately book the next year. Because a lot of things that size, you've got to book in advance. You've got to go ahead and get those costs in advance. So the tickets, especially in the beginning, have to cover like multiple years. It really is a break even. I know people think they make a lot of money, but they really don't. And even the vendors, right? Some vendors can make a lot of money, but a lot of vendors, they're just people who love what they're doing and they just enjoy it. And they go out there and they largely break even. They just enjoy doing that. I love talking with vendors. I love those small business owners that are just doing it because they love to do it. And they're doing it because they have fun. I mean, honestly, those are the people that I like. Now, of course, there are the corpo vendors. There are the people selling the $50 t-shirts, you know, and stuff like that. I get that. And there's the big corpo merch. We know that. But I like the real small businesses that come into conventions. Those really warm my heart. And I really enjoy supporting those small businesses that are coming in to help. So we have the civil side, tortious interference. Now let's get into the criminal side, right? So on the criminal side, and yes, there also is defamation, right? So somebody said it. I think there was a chat here. Sparky said, wouldn't this fall into a type of defamation in Japan, like leaving a bad review in a company? Yes, but guess what? They're an American company. So they would have to bring the defamation action in America. Now, I think they could actually win in America. So let me put it this way. I think if they sued for defamation in America, they could meet the malice standard because they willfully and intentionally, with the intent to salt their game, and for no reason that was valid, no contractual reason, no business reason, they went out there and because Weebcon doesn't control false ID. So with that, they were maliciously destroying the reputation of Weebcon. So yes, they could sue. Here's the problem. Kurasanji is in Japan. But you know what would be fun? You know what would be really fun? Putting out a crime. So putting out a warrant so that if Riku steps foot in the United States, he's thrown in a Texas jail. I would love to see Yacht Boy locked up in a little old jail outside of Dallas, Texas. The best old little jail in all of Dallas, Texas. That would be great. And what could they get him for? What could they get Godfather Rico for? Extortion. Texas extortion, baby. We're talking extortion. So extortion is under the same rubric as theft in Texas, right? It occurs when an individual gains property or money by some type of force or threat of violence, property damage, or here it is, harm to reputation. Harm to reputation. The difference between extortion and robbery is you do not need imminent threat. So a future conduct could affect them, including damaging their reputation. So under this rubric, you could get it. Now, this is where the difficulty comes in. You need to have some sort of proof. So you need some sort of proof the threat was made. So you need some person who's testifying to that. But let's say we could get that. We've got them, boys. We have got them. So it can be up to a first-degree felony, which is punishable anywhere between 5 and 99 years in prison. So I would love to see Riku locked up, even if it's just for five years. I think 5 years is enough for him to learn his lesson. I think 5 years is enough for the yacht to become a diving spot. Here lies the wreckage of the yacht. There you go. I mean, now is that going to happen now? Right? That's not going to happen. That'd be crazy. Could it though? Potentially. right? So you're saying there's a chance. Yeah. So that's where we got there. And once again, the punishment is that we are seeing this and we are calling them out, and they're getting exactly what they deserve. Let me read through these super chats. I'm going to read through the ones that are on topic more than the ones that are off topic. Yinka says the PR hurts more than the lawsuit. Yes, because Nijisanji has, coverage. They've got whatever lawyers, right? They're also in Japan, so it's going to be really difficult to get at them. But the PR hits them, baby. The PR hits them no matter where they are. And you know what's really hurting them with the EN audience? And they don't realize the EN is the future of their company. They are tanking their stock because they are destroying their credibility in the English-speaking world. And that's what the difference between other organizations like HoloLive, like FaZe, like Idol, like other corporations that are running themselves properly, right? These people understand that press in English matters, right? HoloLive is not fucking around with people outside of Japan. They're just being HoloLive. They're existing and not being Kurosanji, and that's a huge W for them, right? Meanwhile, Nijisanji racks up bad PR after bad PR after bad PR. And this is, once again, why would you have to threaten them? Why would Nijisanji have to threaten them? All Nijisanji has to do is just don't show up next year. If you want to, get back at them, just don't show up. Just don't do it. You don't have to threaten them. Just don't show up. Because if you're such a draw to their convention, if your talent is such a big draw to Weebcon, if everybody's showing up to Weebcon for the talent, well, then just don't go, right? Or is it not actually as big of a draw as you thought? See? Hypnotic says, ouch, that AnyColor super chat talent was revealed, and Docs threatened Doki with questionable actions at her family home in front of her family. Yeah, there you go. I mean, once again, that's also a threat, right? Repton says, welcome to the jungle. We got fun and games. Got to do a karaoke night. It's going to be like a members only karaoke. Happy 800 says Docs should put down the whiskey. It's making him evil. Oh, there you go. GeoRock says, so in one sentence alone, could that be considered as blackmail or extortion? And maybe explain the difference between the two. Yeah, if it was extortion is an actual crime. Blackmail is typically what people would refer to as colloquially as extortion. So remember, crimes usually have a name. So that's why I said, for example, when we were talking about PDF files and that being the name of a crime or a type of criminal, right? You want to be very, very careful, right? Calling someone a degenerate versus calling them a PDF file is totally different. It could be very true that somebody is a degenerate, right? For example, not an FBI says, no, not our Pippa Femboy socks. When he says that, and I play this clip.
Degenerates. You guys degenerates.
Him of a crime. There's nothing criminal going on right now. He can't sue me. Come at me, bro. Come at me. No, really, you can't sue for calling somebody a degenerate. That's fine. You can call someone degenerate. You call them disgusting, unethical. You can call them yabai, right? But when you start to call them criminals, that's the problem. We've got the defamation one. And by the way, they would definitely win the defamation case in Japan, but of course it's an American thing. So they'd clearly bring it in America. And they wouldn't get a fair trial in Japan, not against Nijisanji. As an American corporation against Nijisanji in Japan, no, wouldn't be a fair trial. You'd want it in America. And what you want to do to really punish Nijisanji is you would want to go after Nijisanji's US assets. Shit, at a certain point, I would look at confiscating Nijisanji merchandise in order to sell it off and reap the profits to recover your damages against Nijisanji. See, if I was an entrepreneurial lawyer that really wanted to get Nijisanji, I would try to take the merch, all that life support merch they were selling, all that other stuff. Yeah, all that merch that hits the US, let's be confiscating that. Let's sell it off. Let's auction it off. And let's pay the damages, right? If we're really coming for Nijisanji, really going into the paint here. The stuff actually starts hitting their bottom line, and you'd be surprised how quickly they behave. Oyamada says, seeing how many L's Niji has done in various countries, there's no doubt they will plan to have branch offices anywhere outside Japan. No, I mean, they won't. They won't. They're not going to. I think if they literally did that, the countries would crack down on them. And there's a reason why they don't do that. They don't do that. They haven't had an actual office in any other country other than Japan, because they can only survive under the curtain of the most oppressive interpretation of Japanese law. And once again, there are good Japanese companies. Cover Corporation seems to be operating on the up and up for the most part, right? There are good Japanese companies. There's many good Japanese companies. By the way, shout out to People to Yell, right? They're Japanese, they're in Japan, and they're standing up for this. So not all Japanese companies, and certainly not all Japanese people, are evil, right? This is just specifically Nijisanji and certain other black corporations that decide to hide behind these elements of law and play these games, which is really fucked up on the international stage. And it's worth calling out. JV Robrigado says he's probably going to attempt to restore his honor before he finishes the 5-year sentence. I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying he'd Epstein himself, but you never know what happens in Texas jail stays in Texas jail, right? Kawa Z Perdem says PR Vox is under 1K CCV. Dude, right now on this stream, we are getting more viewers than Vox Akuma. Comrade, the Vox Tenga is not selling as well. Privyet, we need to come up with new product. Vox Tenga very bad. Fujoshi no buy Vox Tenga. Yeah, I heard about that. Absolutely 100%. Fox is getting treated
Fighting
like
monkey とかさ。
Oh, it's great. I'm just sweeping them right now. It is perfect. And look, once again, this is my unscheduled stream where my channel is shadow banned. And I have what now, like one, maybe like one, not even 1/10, right? Like Vox Akuma has, how many viewers does Vox Akuma have? Let's look up Vox Akuma right now. He's got how many million here on YouTube? 1.4 million, right? So like I don't mask so good, but that's definitely on me, what, like almost a 10x, right? Like Vox Akuma has 10x. So he should be getting like 10x my amount of live viewers, right? He should be having, right, 10,000 people watching, right? The problem is a lot of these are probably dead subs, right, that are not actually actively watching. Probably some bots in there too. So yeah. I mean, no, there's a lot of Fujos out there, but this is definitely embarrassing when you're getting blown out of the water by much smaller streamers. It's really embarrassing. Welcome, Bear Funkle, as a member. Appreciate you. Also, Repton says Fillion can never catch a long man. We got to do it.
Long man.
危ないね、あの人。
Charlie says what they don't understand is that their Japanese market is already largely saturated. Their English market has more untapped potential than throwing away. Yes, no, in the world understands this. Financial advisors outside of Japan understand that the long view is to go outside of Japan. If you're going long in VTubing, you're going outside of Japan. The growth is outside of Japan. Japan is a rapidly shrinking population. I was watching the other day some travel videos because obviously I have my second channel. I try to stay apprised of many things Japan. And if you look at a lot of it's interesting, the street food videos, look at the difference between the street food videos in different countries. If you look at the street food videos from the Philippines, right, and you look at what they're, what's available, or the restaurant videos in the Philippines, it's young people. There's a whole family running a family restaurant where there's like 4 or 5 kids, right, running around. They're all young. They're out there. They're having life. They're like full of life. And then you flip over to Japan, and it's a hobbled 80-year-old man making hot dogs. And yes, it's charming and it's nice that he's still working at 80. But what the dark truth behind that is, he has to, because after that old man goes away, there's nobody to replace him. Like, young people aren't going to go out there and run a hot dog stand. There's some serious problems for Japan, especially in terms of like providing some services like that, because people just don't want to go out and do stuff like that. They're just not willing to go out and do that anymore, right? So there, a lot of those things, those charming things like the food stands and food stalls are going to go away because they're just run by older folks, and there's no succession there, right? There's no family there. It's just like there's a guy, RIP, right? Sub replacement fertility rate. It's actually a problem. Now, I know they are bringing some folks in, from other places, other countries, but not a lot. It's still a very small percentage, right? I know they brought in some Burmese, right? Because obviously there's a lot of stuff going in Myanmar, so they've kind of flown some folks out there, but it's not to the point where it's gonna make a appreciable dent. It's a small segment. They have outsourced, and there's some things you can outsource, but you can't outsource stuff like a hot dog stand, right? That's not able to. And yes, shout out to Philippines mentioned. Yes. This is why I really want to know if I have more Filipino viewers than Nosagi. If I have more Filipino viewers than DN, it's over, baby. He's got to turn over his Philippines card to me. It's done. He's done. He can trade citizenship. I'll give him like room on my cabana, Let's see here. So what they don't understand, oh yeah, we got that one. So they are throwing away the English market. Yes, they are doing that. What's next? Kira failed to pay his child support. Ooh. Geo Rock says jury selection for either civil or criminal case if the trial is going to be funny. Ladies and gentlemen, do you know Selin-Totsky's lore? Ladies and gentlemen, have you been to Starbucks? If you've been to Starbucks, Nijisanji's lawyers are like trying to disqualify them. Like, they've got, are you a white person? Right? Actually, they can't do that. That's actually, they're actually not allowed to do that. Bear Funkle said, looking forward to the membership karaoke stream. That's going to be good. It's going to be good. Haru says, they're kind of screwed by debuting so many waves of talent so rapidly. Not going to lie. It never seemed like a good idea to me, even at the very beginning. Yeah, the Hunger Games approach doesn't seem to work. Although, like I said, with Nexus, it's not necessarily illegal or impermissible. It just leads to the fact where there are going to be winners and losers, right? Where not everybody can be successful. It's not going to happen. And by the way, thank you to everybody who emailed me. I do get a lot of emails. So do thank you. Thank you for everything. Thank you for that. Somebody just sent me the TOS for Helldivers. We're going to get to that. Don't worry, guys. Next topic. Pink Rose says, I'm pretty sure Nijisanji had an office in Indonesia before they shut down. No, they did not. I don't think they did. Pink Rose, what is very confusing, and I understand this. No, my chair is not vibrating. I'm like, I haven't had coffee this morning, so I'm like moving my leg, so I'm probably shaking a little bit. Whatever. Getting myself up, guys. Getting myself up. I also I have really long. I'm 6'6", guys, so I have very long legs. So sometimes that like keeps them from getting cramped up. But yeah, I need my coffee, man. Got to get it in the veins. I've been trying to do like a little bit of intermittent fasting, like just like not eating in the morning. So no coffee yet. All right. But I don't think they actually had an office. What I think is confusing, Pink Rose, is that they call their branches without actually putting an office there. So they don't actually put offices in America or Indonesia or India or Korea. They just call them branches, but there's nothing there physically because there's nothing for them to sue, nothing for them to do. I don't know. But if people say they did not have an office there, I don't believe they ever did. I don't think they'd ever subject themselves to that. And I don't think they commit. See, HoloLive is actually committing. They're really committing. Idle is committing. They're forming. They're committing more to the US, right? So like these companies are committing more, right? Whereas what is Niji doing? They're running away and hiding in Fortress Nihongo, and that is a failing option. That is a losing option, a dying option in the end. Yes, it does make money, but they're seeding the plot. What happened to Vox and Niji? Just came in. Vox is dropping in live viewers, and this has been a pretty consistent thing. So his live viewers are getting pretty embarrassingly low, like half of what we have now in this chat. So that's what's going on with Vox. K-Not says, why is Riku stopped keeping rising despite all this? Well, stock rises and falls based on patterns, right? So like, don't judge a company by just the pure ups and downs of the stock. There's lots of speculation. There can be options trading. So, you know, stock can fluctuate up and down, but you look at longer term trends. And if you look at the AnyColor stock on a longer term trend, so let's do that real quick, which is the proper way to look at it, right? It's not looking good. Let's look at this on a 5-year chart, right? So let's look at this on a 5-year chart. And look, once again, this is not financial advice. Do I have a not financial advice banner? Let's see. Here we go. I've got it. I've got it. There you go. Because I do this pretty often. So I have a hashtag not financial advice as a permanent banner for my show. I just need to click it. It takes 2 seconds. Okay. Look at this trend. This is a 5-year trend. 5 years. Okay. 5 years. By the way, these are in Buddhist years. If you guys aren't down with the Buddha, I don't know what to say to you. You guys are kind of losers. You guys are in 2024. I'm in 2567. I'm just saying. Just saying, get with it, guys. Get with it. But when you look at this here, what does this look like to you? Does this look like a company that is going places, or does this look like a sell? Does this look negligible to you? So when people say it's going up, what timeline are you looking at? You're probably looking at it like on a 1-day chart or like a 5-day chart. You're like, oh my God, it's gone up like 10 yen. Zoom out, bruh. Let's zoom all the way out. This is the maximum, right? The maximum. Look at this. It's a downward trend. This, you know what this looks like? This looks like a shit coin. Nijisanji looks like a shit coin, right? Let me like look at let's see. Let's see. Let me just look up a crypto shit coin. So let's just look up let's look up a famous one. How about Pepe? Well, not even Pepe. Safe Moon. All right. So let's look at Safe Moon. Let's look at Safe Moon, right? Because I think that one definitely was a rug, right? Yeah. So here we go. So this is crypto, right? Once again, definitely not financial advice. I hope you are not invested in Safe Moon, right? But Safe Moon, if you look over here, oh wait, shit, let me reload this. Safe Moon did the typical rug pull, right? Which is it came out, spiked up real high, and then just fucking dumped, right? And yeah, there's little fluctuations down here, but it's ultimately trash. Legendary rug. This is a legendary rug. This looks a lot like look at this, like the spike and then the dump, right? Let's go back to Kurosanji real quick. What does this look like? There's a spike here and there's a dump, right? Oh, weird. It's weird how that happens, you know? Kind of looks like people got rugged. Look at this. At one point, it was 6,300 Japanese yen. Looks like a rug there, boys. It's like a rug there, boys. I'm just saying. I'm no financial expert. Definitely do not take my financial advice. But that's just what I'm seeing looking at charts there. Any color, and they chose red. Yeah, JV says more economic downturn. Indeed. If you like Long Man, you're definitely gonna like Panda Cheese. Do not get me started on more of this stuff. You know what? I'll see if I can find whatever clip you're gonna. Oh, I think I've seen these. I think I see this. Let's play the Panda Cheese at the end. That's a good one at the end. That's a good one at the end. Okay. Thank you so much. Spencer says, sad thing is Japanese work culture contributes to low. Yes, it's true. And the problem is, generally in developed, countries, if you have the ability to make your own wage, and also where a husband, this is once again sexist, Andrew, because according to the Niji sisters, I'm a sexist for stating objective facts, and that is in developed countries where by by all objective standards, we've achieved, despite what anybody says, we've achieved relative gender parity in gender earnings, right? Despite what anybody says. I know it's crazy. I know you're going to think it's crazy, but actually, when a lot of objective assessments of corporations are done, they actually find that many times actually men are underpaid in many corporations because of, if you factor in things like certain types of leave, like the days off, like productivity, effectiveness, right? Men are actually often underpaid. This is something that people don't talk about. But that said, we've largely achieved a gender parity in the modern developed world in terms of work. And turns out when you have that, and when a single working individual cannot afford a family, people don't have families. And that generally is a trend. And Japan has long been at that, and they long have had a corporate culture, right? So in fact, one of the first in Asia. So yeah, it's no surprise they have a very low birth rate. And you see that in other countries in Asia as they develop, South Korea, even in China, even now in Thailand. In Thailand, the birth rate has dropped sub 2. So that's because more and more people are working. So yes, work culture does contribute to that. Absolutely. Starbucks, gross, could just make your own drinks. Yeah, indeed. If you've ever heard about mold in coffee, you might start making your own coffee, especially since it's not banned in the US. Generic Wolf says Nijisanji could try the Samsung ice skating ring strategy. I haven't heard of that. I have to look that up. Surprised. I was in Korea and I don't know about that. I'll look that up. Got shadow banned. Damn. Well, I came here from your recommended page. Always click when I see you. I see you're going with a high res avatar today. Yes, I'm going with the super based legal mindset. Pink Rose says, I saw your video tour once done by an Indonesian YouTuber where they did an office tour of the Indonesian branch. Not sure if the video is still up. Oh, interesting. Well, if it truly is there, it's fine. But understand, were they talking about was it an Indonesian VTuber who was in Japan touring the main branch? I think it may have been an Indonesian VTuber that is touring the branch in Japan. I don't know. You have to confirm that, Pink Rose. Be very careful what you think you see. LCPL said, wanting to show how these cadets to properly hell dive into combat. Unfortunately, Sony has committed the sin of fucking with their customers' games again. They were Stellar Blade was not enough. It was not enough. Music and Fiction says Holly's was better than Starcrux. Oh yeah, Holly's coffee, especially in Korea. There's also Holly's here in Thailand. I love it. It's great. It's amazing. Guargura. Oh no, here it goes. Guargura, chum bud, and legal mindsets fish. I will protect your honor from she who will not be named. Time for me to give my first super chat ever. Why not legal mindset first, especially considering how based he is? Kuro's sister Sanji only knows 2 things, doubling down in threats. HoloLive only knows 1 thing, W's. Haruto Halim says, so I just want to make it clear. I guess Kuro-sanji rented an office building for that. I don't think it was too big. I don't live in Java, so yeah, wild guess. Thank you. And by the way, thank you to the based Indonesian bros and sisters out there shouting out. You guys are so, listen. When I say Jakarta time, I say it with love, baby. I think I'm on the same, hold on. Is Thailand in what Jakarta time now? Are we in the same time zone? Yeah, we're in the same time zone. I'm in Jakarta time. I am in Jakarta time. Indochina time and Jakarta time are aligned. We are in the same time zone. We are time zone brothers. And you know that's absolutely.
Hello, Peso Department.
I'm just saying. Shout out. Kawa Z Pradem says, how stupid is Niji? In the Chinese market, Billy, Vox chose Japan's scuffed samurai model. I mean, come on, it's beyond stupid, dude. The new Vox Akuma model, I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say. We're going with this. Hold on. We'll highlight this. We'll highlight this here. I think we can get this here. Oh yeah, r/Nijisanji's got it up. Right? Hold on. I cannot believe that this guy decided, yeah, this is a good idea. This is a good idea for China. And China is going to really love this, China's going to love, there's nothing China loves more than Japan. The reason why they went I mean, look at that. You got the demon in the background, stuff like that. The Japanese demon. Look, and I'm not saying that might not be a good idea for Japan, but for Billy, bro. Same thing with like if you deployed that in Korea. It's like, yeah, Oppenheimer did well for a reason in China. Just saying. I mean, geez, guys, geez. Learn your history. Like, are these people so ignorant of history they don't understand? I don't know. For Fred says, oh, hello, fellow comrade fish. Comrade fish, please pass Vox Tenga. Nobody is using it anymore. Brain Fried says, Texas crime. Consider Niji signed 10 plus legal claims last year to delete false ID during Weebcon 2023. If false sues for tortious interference against Discovery and the Discovery to Texas DA jail the boat, yes, it could happen. They could issue a warrant for the arrest of any individual who did that as part of Nijisanji if they prove it. Now, they've got to prove it, and proving something is difficult. But if the information to get to the Texas DA and the Texas DA brought the case, especially, look, with Texas, I mean, they might be willing to do that. Texas is fairly based. So Texas might be willing to go out and say, you know what, we are going to arrest any agent of Nijisanji that's stepping foot in the state of Texas, right, that's related to this, right, they can link to this. I mean, if only for the PR, that would be huge, right? Even if Riku spent nowhere in jail, imagine that. They would have to disclose that in their Japanese stock filings, right? That's a material disclosure. They would have to say, hey, our CEO can be arrested in Texas. That would impact their company, even if he never goes to jail. If it's just like, yep, Riku's going to be locked up if he ever comes to Texas. Just saying. Charlie Spurs says, if you're looking to, and by the way, it would get up to Riku probably through what's called RICO, racketing, influencing, essentially the Corrupt Practices Act, which was used to target gangsters. Well, Nijisanji is operating like a bunch of Japanese gangsters, or operating like Yakuza, right? So that's how that would work, right? RICO, this racketing, influencing, corrupt practices act, that's used on, there's both a federal act and a state act. Every state has a RICO act that would be used against them. So RICO, Riku. In fact, that kind of rhymes. RICO, Riku. It really does rhyme. It really does rhyme. Or the Rikuza. I like that one too. Rikuza is good. Rikuza is good. But Rico, Riku, it's a tongue twister, but I like it. I like it. It's good. It's good. Rico Tazumi. If you're looking for coffee, I know a certain fish that can hook you up. You know what? I may get some Phase coffee when I'm back in the US. It's probably easier to order there than to, Thailand or the Philippines, right? So like probably not as easy to get it shipped here. I don't know. Fellow Southeast Asian brothers, my brothers in Jakarta time, Manila time. Have you ordered Phase coffee internationally? Have you guys done that? I don't know. Do they ship internationally? Spencer Howard said on stream today, Sakana explained their strategy. It includes further slow, steady expansion into Japan. Japanese talent also say how good PC is to work with. Yes, I think this is smart. I think Phase Connect is doing it correctly because people are going to want to work with Phase Connect. And what Sakana can do as a competitive advantage. By the way, Eagle, clip this out. Name of this clip. I know Eagle's out there. Name of this clip. How Phase Connect can take over Japan. Here's how they do it. They get all the sad girls of Japan. They focus on the sad girls, stay sad girl company. So let's get some Minhara girls, right? Because that's why we love Phase, right? But find some in Japan, but slowly take care of them, nurture them, make sure you can provide them sufficient padding on the walls. And by doing that, they'll be known as a better employer than the other competition. So people will turn to Phase. There will be so many Phase applicants. Sakana won't know what's going on, and that will be their competitive advantage because they'll want to work for a foreign corporation. They'll want to work with people abroad. They'll want to be able to meet up with people from around the world. I think it was just as cool of a thing for Tenma to meet Pippa as it was for Pippa to Tenma, right? Like any talent that's in Japan, it's clearly cool for them to interact with people internationally. And frankly, with most Japanese people I know, they love interacting with people from other countries. They love interacting with people from abroad. So as a healthy way for talent to interact, to be together, to learn about each other, to grow, I think that is absolutely 100% the proper way to do it, because they're a Canadian corporation and they're operating under law that's generally fair. Right? Not as fair as America, because Canada does have some ridiculous bullshit. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I'm an American. I have a bias towards American law, but I genuinely believe American law is a little bit better in certain respects related to our rights generally. But that said, right, I think Canada is still a hell of a lot more protective than Japan will ever be. And I think it's a lot better for them to work for a Canadian company than it is for a Japanese company. So save the girls and get your good reputation. And I think they can win that way. And by the way, they don't ever have to be number one. FaZe doesn't have to be number one. FaZe just has to be known, right? They have to be a known alternative. If people are saying, oh yeah, HoloLive, Nijisanji, FaZe as big companies, are just naming big companies, they name FaZe, they don't have to beat HoloLive. They never have to do that. They just have to be there on the market, right? They need to know their niche and do their niche well. Every company doesn't have to do the same thing. They don't all have to be the same type of company, right? So that's my pitch for FaZe. So Sakana, hope you're listening. Also, come on for an interview, Fishman. Come on, we'll do it. We'll do it, Fishman. Come on. All right. End clip, Eagle. All right, let's get some of these supers, and then we'll move on to Helldivers. All right. AOD Dark Wolf says, I just did a closed beta for a game, and I had to do an NDA. Thank you again for the explanation of contracts. I focused on the coworkers to not get them to break NDAs. Yes, and now, look, NDAs are still in effect. Remember, it's non-competes that went away. NDAs are still in effect. So do read your NDAs and read them carefully. Generic Wolf said copyright trolls repeatedly sued Samsung in Marshall, Texas, so they built an outdoor skating rink in front of the courthouse. That is hilarious. That is hilarious. That is great. I love it. I love it. The Watcher said, looks like Niji is also hiring $7.50 artists too. No. Watcher, send me proof of this. Send me proof of this. Queen's Twilight Sparkle. Oh, wait, no, you mean the Vox thing? Oh, sure. Related to Vox, sure. Queen Twilight Sparkle said, time to pony up. Where's Rima? Because unlike Nijisanji, who is a
fighting monkey,
Rima is based horse girl. Also, can you cover Camilla's situation this or next stream? I know nothing about it. I'll look into it. I know somebody else in the chat says it's pure drama. I'm not sure whether it is or not. But if you have something on it and you want to email it to me, I will review it. I will give it a good faith review. If it is pure drama with no legal implication, I won't cover it. But if there's some sort of legal implication, even if it's a future thing, maybe I'll cover it. You got to send it to me. There's got to be legal parts of it or something I can teach for me to go into it. Not just, oh my God, he said that this guy was fat. Oh my God. They said that their model was pudgy. No, that's not. Well, I don't know what it is. I know nothing about this. Clemson Spice's ice rink strategy, spending money for good PR in an area where juries are selected. Marshall, Texas got a nice outdoor ice rink for Christmas. New York, it ain't. There you go. Einz913 says, why China still follows VTubers. They hate Japanese because war. Yes, but also, to be honest, the Chinese companies don't come up with good products internally. And also, here's the problem. You guys don't know this. We covered this, though. Actually, you know what? You guys should understand it. You guys should understand it because we already covered this. But you know what?
All right, explain this to me like I'm retarded.
That won't be that hard.
I know you guys are a little slow, so we're going to explain this to you here. Again, China is a communist country, and they have a lot of draconian authoritarian laws. They passed a massive, massive crackdown on all streamers in the country. And of course, you are forced to comply. It's China. You don't have a choice. You do it, right? China says do it. You jump. You say how high. There's no suing. There's no challenging. There's no constitution. It's done, right? In fact, it's not just China. It's really Xi, right? So they cracked down on streamers because a lot of people are streaming and they viewed streaming as degenerate. They view stream. They think of streaming, and they're like,
disgusting.
Chairman Mao does not approve. So because of that, they put a lot of restrictions, including mandatory moderators, including limiting the amount of time they can stream, in terms of requiring certain IED, requiring certain proof, requiring certain linking of accounts, right? There's a lot of things that are going on there. So streamers have been really, really, really clamped down on. So if you are a Chinese streamer inside of China, you're clamped down on. However, a lot of those limitations won't apply if you are a foreign streamer that is streaming into Bilibili. So a lot of those lockdowns and the limitations, etc., aren't going to apply on you as a foreign streamer. So there is a sort of competitive edge. Now, if you say naughty stuff, they're going to kick you off the platform. So, don't mention Taiwan or Tibet or Tiananmen Square or the Uyghurs, right? TTTU. Or else Chairman Xi will be like Keckmaster and just poop his butt, If you start mentioning Tibet, Tiananmen, or Taiwan, or the Uyghurs, Xi starts pooping his butt. It's a big thing. It's an actual thing, guys. Just know what happens. It's Winnie the Pooh for a reason, guys. Come on. Emphasis on the poo. So yes, that is why a lot of the people that are even big in the market are not from there. And look, China's more of a copycat nation, so they'll try to copy, but when they copy, they end up ruining it because they create all the regulation that kind of ruins the freedom of expression. They're not very good at content creation and individual thought. It's not really great. But by the way, that's nothing to say about Chinese people. One of my best friends in Bangkok here, who I go out with all the time. I love Chinese food. I love Chinese people. I love Chinese girlfriend in the U.S. I have no problem with Chinese people. In fact, a lot of the most base Chads are out there in Singapore, a Chinese diaspora in Singapore, Taiwan, living abroad, Thai Chinese here. My doctors are Thai Chinese, fucking super smart people, super great. Love them, right? Chinese government is the problem and their crackdown. Kane Mott for 6 Malaysian ringgit says, those who don't study history will repeat it. Yeah, and most people on the internet don't know history, which is kind of why I enjoy. Look, I blend a little bit of the international knowledge, history, and law, because law also follows history. So you do need to understand and have an appreciation for history in order to get some of these things. AOD Darkwolf for 20 says, did an NDA recently to test a game after your video? Oh, yes, I think I got this one. So I know you did read your NDA, guy. Yep, definitely read your NDA. Rikazuka is good. Yakuniji? I like that. Yakuniji is pretty good too. I like that. Pig Rose says, my bad, you're probably right. I checked the video again and it says they were invited by Niji ID, but did not mention the location. See what I mean? Nijisanji ID is run out of Midtown. It's run out of Tokyo. Can Sakana fix the Japanese sad girls? I'm just going to play the clip.
Yeah, I'm in favor of execution. Maybe our entire team needs to be executed after tonight.
Charan says, I think about Camila, says it's just a 2-year-old internet beef, just drama. Yeah, then I won't cover it, right? But once again, if you've got information, you want to send it to me, I'll take a look. But if it's drama, then no, I'm not going to cover it. AOD says, sorry, third part of that NDA I am under. Other people don't read, and you please tell everyone to read the NDAs. Yes, please read your NDA. Yes. Read it carefully. Bindi for 5 says, are you considering coming to Anime Matsuri this year? Hopefully they'll have some VTubers too. Maybe not. There's an anime Matsuri in Orlando. I'm probably more likely to come to one in Florida than Texas because I don't have any particular business in Texas. So yeah. Also, there tends to be at the one, particularly in Texas, there tends to be a lot of drama, and I tend to avoid drama. So that particular convention in Texas that I went to once tends to be a magnet for drama. So I may avoid that particular one. I'd rather go to ones where I'm just hanging out with VTubers and not necessarily other content creators. A lot of other content creators, they try to use some of them try to use these conventions and meetups to generate drama and stories, particularly about other content creators. So they try to say, oh, this person did X, this person did Y, and it's complete bullshit. They just make stuff up, right? Because they try to do that. I do have a lot of exes in Texas. Someone just mentioned that song. But we're on good terms. We're on good terms. My exes in Texas actually really like me. So Gorgura says, chum butt and Legal Minds Suspicious. By the way, I was a shark. I would sink the yacht deep down. Like even Pacora's monkey gives HoloLive wins. Not only that, Q4 report is coming. Judgment time. Oh, I am ready, guys. We are ready for Q4. Q4, we're going to cover Q4 on this channel. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. We'll cover Holo too in comparison. JV Robrigado says, oh, don't get me started on Beijing ships exploring on waters they don't even claim. Oh, yeah. Philippines is getting into it right now. They're about to figure out, they're about to fuck around and find out with the Philippines Navy. It's going to be it's going to be real interesting if they keep fucking around in waters they don't own. Kawa Z Pradem says, in a way, VTubers are a gold market representative, as in what a lot of companies forget. We care about individuals, not hashtag socialism, F communism. Yes, and look, you support your individual Oshis. And guys, I don't care whatever political beliefs. I don't give a shit about that. I'm not trying to change your mind. I have my own beliefs on law. I have my own beliefs on politics and whatever else. But I'm going to say it like it is. And, you know, if you want to be a socialist, that's your own business. You can vote for what I deem bad politicians and bad policies. You can do that. That's your free choice, right? I'm just providing you what the existing laws are, and I'm telling you why they're that way. And if you ask me, oh, well, Andrew, why can't you challenge laws in China? Well, I mean, it's pretty obviously the political system, right? I mean, there's it's not a surprise to say that political system and those beliefs lead to a system where you can't really challenge things, or you end up, hanging out with the Uyghurs, right? Haru Mochizuku says, oh, a berating, tut, if you will. Oh, always. Charlie Spur says it would be unfathomably funny if someone streamed as a public domain Winnie the Pooh, Winnie G the Pooh, but they would get disappeared so fast. Oh, and Billy, no, it would be taken off Billy. YouTube, you could do it. YouTube, you could do it. Repton says your exes in Texas because they buried like you because they buried 6 feet below.
What the fuck?
Eagle mindset serial killer arc? Like what's going on now? Okay, that's unexpected lore. Sharon5582 says TLDR, Camila was a Twitter anti and started to try drama over Shondo being based. It was brought back up because of an animation Camila released and she officially apologized. Okay, well, if there's nothing legal about it, then especially if it's old and it's not happening now, then there's really nothing to talk about, right? That's some dark. Yeah, Camila News is drama. All right. Okay. Before we go into the Helldivers, I want to get some wholesome clips in here. Let's get some wholesome clips. This is Mokoko's Lethal. I love you.
Have fun at work, sweetie. I miss you. I love you. I love you. Haskaru. Oh, I love. What? Have fun at work. Iguanas. Have fun at work, sweetie. I miss you. I love you. Like that. Have fun at work, sweetie. I miss you. I love you.
Oh, that's good. Although that guitar riff there is probably going to get us demonetized. Shout out to the yellow squad. Let's see if we're yellow already. We're probably already yellow. Are we yellow, guys? We're not subscribers only. What? How dare we let these plebs in here? No? Oh, I guess we're not. I guess we're not yellow yet. We'll be yellow soon. They've been tricking me. They've been making me yellow like right after the stream. It's really funny. Repton says no murders, just accidents while fishing. Yes, like I dropped my Bitcoin off of my yacht. I had it on a Trezor and I dropped it off of my yacht when I was like, just boating around, the East Sea, the Gulf of Thailand. Just drop it in the water. All right. Okay. Let's go and start here with the Helldivers thing. Okay. So here it is, Helldivers. Here's the big update. This is from Helldivers 2. This is from their official Helldivers 2 Twitter. So this is not made up. This is real. Helldivers, an important message from our partner PlayStation about account linking. No, it's not from PlayStation. It's your official message. So here's the thing. And here's the problem, is that Sony was the publisher of Helldivers. So they have a lot of contractual control over Helldivers. Helldivers was amazing because it didn't have the politics. It didn't have the bullshit. Well, it does have politics. Hashtag managed democracy, right? And everybody was loving Helldivers. But now, here's what's going on. Due to technical issues, so they're calling it now technical issues, right? At the launch of Helldivers 2, we allowed the linking requirement for Steam accounts to a PlayStation Network account to be temporarily optional. The grace period will now expire. See below in the post for details. So they gave almost no warning of this. Account linking plays a pivotal role in protecting our players and upholding the values of safety and security provided on PlayStation and PlayStation Studios games. This is our main way to protect players from griefing and abuse by enabling the banning of players that engage in that type of behavior. That is complete bullshit. That is complete bullshit. It also allows those players that have been banned the right to appeal. What are you talking about? As they can do that through the existing procedures. This is crap. This is a lie. As of May 6th, all new Helldivers on Steam will be required to connect their Steam account to a PlayStation Network account. As of May 6th, current players on Steam will see the mandatory login from May 30th and be required to have a linked Steam and PSN network by June 4th. PlayStation Network accounts are free and easy to set up using this link. We understand this. While this may be an inconvenience to some of you, this step will help us continue to build a community that you're all proud to be part of. Many thanks for your continued support of Helldivers 2. This, ladies and gentlemen, is complete bullshit. It is a... Now, can they do it? Technically, as the publisher, they can try to do this. But here's the problem. Here's the problem. At this point, the game has been out for a long time. The game has been out for a very long time. And they are now presenting a requirement to play the game. You will not be able to play the game unless you connect to their network, which, once again, as a PC player, so I'm imagining that you are a PC player, a Steam player on your PC, right? You are required to connect to something that you may not even own or want to link. Also, they can ban your Steam account for something that they perceive as naughty. Because remember, Sony is super big into censorship. You know what they're doing with Stellar Blade right now? What they want to do, their goal here, we're going to get to this, is to permanently ban people. Permanently ban people based on their biometrics. So what they want to do is they want to get your logins and ultimately get your biometrics, right? And ban you permanently as a person. That's what they're moving towards. Now, this is a step in that direction, right? So they're trying to hold you hostage to make you behave. And it's very interesting, and this is potentially fraudulent and deceptive in terms of a deceptive business practice, because it is very clear that they changed their procedures based on this new Helldivers update. And this is something that was sent to me. So here's the instructions on how to unlink a PlayStation Network on PC game, right? So go to the main menu of PlayStation game on PC and select the option to unlink your game. So do I have to sign into a PSN to play PlayStation game on PC? Signing into PSN is optional when playing a PlayStation game on PC. This is before May 3rd. Look what happened. Do I have to sign in to PSN to play a PlayStation game? Some PlayStation games may require you to sign in and link an account for PSN. So they're changing their policy for this. This was a rug pull. This was deceptive. And to me, the appropriate response here is to request a refund and leave a negative review. The most important thing is probably a negative review right now, because they can hide the refunds. Nobody sees how many people are requesting a refund. It's kind of hard to track that, but the reviews, they can't. You need to put a negative review. You can switch your positive review to a negative review, put a negative review for this, specifically mention the linking requirement, and that will actually hit them where it counts, because that's going to be seen by everybody. People say they've already rejected the refund request. Don't worry, just put it in, because if enough people do it, there may be a class action over this, a class action. And you'll see emails going out saying, are you playing Helldivers 2? If you are, get involved in this class action over this rug pull, because they are requiring you already paid for the game, and they're requiring you to do this. And this is a reason you could sue Sony, and there could be a class action against Sony. Right? People say arbitration. Nah, probably going to get past this, especially in certain jurisdictions, right? Because once again, you can't stop that. Now, I know a lot of the companies are trying to stop class actions. It doesn't work like that. Doesn't work like that. So this is a real big one. And I like, by the way, big shout out to Rock Solid. Someone tagged me in this one. This is a really good one. Helldivers 2 has a great reputation and a massive player base. Sony makes the devs roll out an update that will require everyone to have a PlayStation Network account connected. The only previous mention of this is in a small box on stream. Over 60 countries cannot make a PlayStation account. They're banned from making PlayStation accounts. Some countries require a government ID to make one. EULA never directly mentions a PlayStation network. So the contract, your contract does not mention that. PlayStation silently changes their policy in regards to PSN. PlayStation is infamous for data breaches and spam emails. Yes. And this is the thing. You guys are saying it in the chat. You're like, I don't want to be part of the 2024 or 2025 data breach. They have data breaches every 10 minutes. And that's a valid reason to not want to give them your data. Helldivers community manager downplays the entire situation and describes it as just a 2-minute process. You know what else, guys? You know what else is a 2-minute process? Getting fucked. Getting fucked. And this is Sony fucking over every single Helldivers player. It may be just a 2-minute process. That's a 2-minute process where somebody has your information and is stealing your identity for the rest of your natural born life. Some people are like, wow, that's quick. Listen, we got business to do here, guys. All right. 39 IQs in the chat. I love it. All right. People run defense for Sony, downplaying the situation as just PC players seething and overreacting for no reason. Classic Sony. Video game publishers coming up with the worst decisions known to man when they see a game that's actually good. You know what? This is true. This is true. Same thing with Stellar Blade. Why you got to go fuck it up, bro? Because these people are insane. Because these people are crazy. Right? These people are absolutely nuts. So, yeah, that's what's going on with Helldivers. Now, here's the community manager post. Some of you may not have seen this. Here's a community manager post. Thank you, Permaband. Let me give Permaband a follow for this. Someone share with me this conversation. This is in response to all this, right? Oh, yeah, here's a good clip. Here's a good clip here. Everyone, thank God Helldivers 2 is the first game in years. It's fun, focus, and complete knock dog shit. Sony. So CM, community manager, seems to imply that devs want the PSN linking because it would be easier to ban people, while a dev on Discord claims they didn't want it, but Sony forced them to it. So Misty says, hey, this isn't true. Due to the overwhelming amount of people trying to link their accounts, the whole login process broke and people couldn't get into it. Mandatory account linking was disabled for 20 to 30 minutes after it launched to let people play the game. So this is what the CM is saying. By the way, I love, oh man, is this going to get me in trouble? Let me just say, CMs are causing a lot of problems in a lot of different communities, and they're really cancer, and they usually fit certain parameters. Let's just say that. Community managers, like every time you look at a community manager, there's a certain profile for a community manager. Let's just put it that way. Yet people still couldn't get in. It's a process to force people. Gator says meme flags. Yeah, what's up? What's up, Gator? What's up, Gator? Yet people still couldn't get in. It's a process to force people into an ecosystem where they don't want to, because Sony thinks it'll make people pay for their products. And so the community manager says it herself. She says, no, it's allow us to ban people. That is the sole reason. That is the sole reason. So they're not even trying to hide the ball anymore. They're just like, yep. Yep. Oh man. Yeah, by the way, yes, I'll since the people mentioned in the chat, I'll just this is the Twitter, the X profile. This is the community manager right here. She of course protected her posts, but she's got it's got it all here, checks all the boxes for community managers. All right. So coming out and saying the point is to ban people permanently. So you couldn't ban people before. That's a lie. We could, but it increases the effectiveness of what we can do. So what they're trying to get is they're trying to ban people across platforms, cross-platform ban, and just completely yeet you. Sorry for spamming you. I really appreciate the work you're doing here, but what do you mean with more effectiveness? I'm just open-minding here, so no judgment. There are certain legal requirements we have to follow to ban people. This will help us out with that. Also, dealing with support tickets all day. Unfortunately, a lot of people encounter cheaters and harassment. This will help us tackle that problem. I don't know about that. It'll help your data being leaked, that's for sure. Shiori Novelite Night says, Nijisanji trying to sell their graduated terminated talents merch plus AR Live for a pass. To me, Desperate Acts is negligible as a final result. I feel like I'm waiting on a final exam result. Well, Niji's going to flatline for a while, so give Niji time. They'll sync themselves. Let's get on the Helldivers. Also, thank you, Jackson, for joining as a member. Very based. Would filing an FTC complaint, it wouldn't hurt. Once again, I think that these people need to be reported to everybody. If you can report it, tournament, especially Sony, particularly Sony for the rug pull. Shiori says, exactly. People can boo at you in our chat, but this guy's pointing out facts. However, the truth cannot be booed at. It's literally fully illegal. Yes. And they're doing it again and again and again because they don't think people will sue. But that's why PR is the best battle against them. Oyamada says, the worst thing about this is they could set the sales of games by countries in Steam. They could country lock on countries with PSN services, but they never did. Exactly. So now people are going to be locked out of the game forever. This is bullshit. And all those people from that country need to send in reports. negative reviews. Also, go to your country. Try to report Sony in your country. Imagine this. Imagine if a country, so let's say like countries that cannot have PSN accounts, right? So like, for example, all of Africa, Egypt, let's say Egypt, right? Let's say Egypt real quick, or the Baltics, right? So Latvia, Lithuania, Egypt. Let's say that Sony gets banned from Egypt. They're going to start paying attention, right? They're going to start paying attention. Or they're seizing Sony products, right? Entire Africa, Malaysia, Indonesia, Russia. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, they'll start paying attention then. To verify for PSN requires a facial scan and photo of your passport, driver license, or ID. See what I'm talking about, guys? See what I'm talking about? Facial scan. This is where we're going. And by the way, you know where they get that from? You know where they get the facial scan stuff from? Communist China. Communist China. Also required there. Just saying. Just calling it out. Saying what it is. Will I cover Q4 results for Niji? Yes, I will. I will. Ty 827 says, by the TBH, my PlayStation is already linked because of Apex. Minecraft on Switch requires Xbox Live. Requirement is so dumb. I used to like Sony, like Nintendo is awful, like Splatoon and Smash fans, but not Sony bad. Sony is winning for it, and it's because they're increasingly giving authority to their Western counterparts, and it's the Westerners that are ruining it. The more they've Westernized their games, the more they've ruined it. And that's why Sony is just bound for the garbage can. Mitchie Loudy said, did you see the person on Twitter that raised a bounty on Grums to 50K? I haven't seen it. And the person who agreed to it, the one and only Alyssa Mercante. Oh my God. She's just going for clout. These people on Twitter like Alyssa, this is the most clout they're ever going to get. And what you see with a lot of these clout gremlins who don't add any true value is they get increasingly desperate whenever their little 15 minutes of fame, their 15 seconds of fame, lasting on Twitter about as long as they would in the bedroom, when they're at that level of desperation, they just start escalating behavior, and they're like a whining child. You just have to ignore them at a certain point, right? You have to let the clout goblins, the clout gremlins just go off and do their gremlin thing, and you've got to ignore them. You've got to just straight up ignore them at a certain point. There's a point at which to call them out at first, but then you don't keep going with it. Don't keep giving them their time, especially the ones like Alyssa. Gator says, hate facial scan tech used for everything. Yeah, and the problem is that it's just so insecure. So how much of your facial data is just floating out there because you've used it on a lot of devices? LCL says, I wanted to play some games I got from PSN on like Warhammer Inquisitor. The minute I found out I needed a third-party account just to play the game, I got from my counsel is bullshit and should be banned. I agree. I completely agree. Black Sheep Boy said it's supposed to be just lore, damn it. Thank you, Black Sheep Boy. Silbury says, what is meant by biometrics? What do you mean, face scan or fingerprint? So your facial scan or your fingerprint is considered a biometric in a legal sense. So when I say biometric, I mean either face or fingerprint, in this case, facial scan. Things claimed without evidence are dismissed. Yes. Haru Mochizuku says, I'm not sure if I'm on an island with this theory, but I suspect it's partially, if not fully, due to the fact that PlayStation Network is actively being boycotted. That could be it. Sony, I think, is getting desperate, and therefore they're making more and more and more and more desperate moves because they're getting desperate. Sparky says, so I'm recording a scroll through of the review page of Helldivers 2, been scrolling for literally 1 hour, nothing but a sea of red thumbs down. Awesome. That's all I want to see now, because that's what people need to review it. And these are all going to be verified purchases because all these people purchased Helldivers and now they're being fucked. Shiori says, I think my opinion is negligible for Q4. Thank you. Donald Trump, don't trust Sony. Sony is asshole. Thank you, J-Rock 3091. In other news, says Keckmaster for 5, Destiny 2 does not require a PlayStation Network on Steam to play the game, but Helldivers 2 will soon. It's really interesting how they take these different views. Kawazi Perdem says, my nick mean coffee with percent smile. That's Polish lore. Wait, what? Huh? Polish lore. Polish lore. Yeah. No about Polish lore here. But anyways. All right. But in Poland, I typically am drinking herbata, which is tea. Herbata. Agaris says, Poe made you an intro. English study VOD at... Wait, what? English study VOD. Huh? You're gonna have to send this to me. Wait, this maybe is this one? Wait, maybe it's this one. Wait, is this the last post stream? Let's see. Say 309. 309, 309, 309. Let's try to get to this. Let's see what this is. 309.40. Okay, here we go. Here's like 309. Hold on. This is 309.20. So I'll play this. I'll play this.
I share the clip かな多分。そう、多分わかんないけど。
Oh, someone in the chat said you need to say welcome to Legal Mindset. Then you can be the intro all of the time. No. Who did this? Third strongest. Who did this? Who's responsible for this? Who's responsible for this? No way.
You need to say welcome to the Legal Mindset channel さんです。You can the intro. クリップしてくれんのじゃ。クリップスリーガルマインドセットさんのクリップ。What? 二度とマイクになるWelcome to Legal Mindset さんチャンネル。
Holy shit! Gigabase! Gigabase! What? What? I mean, that has to be part of the intro now. It's done. It's over. Okay, clippers, clip that. Can somebody clip that for me real quick? Someone clip this for me. Or Eagle, clip it. Somebody clip this. Clip this girl. Clip this cute girl. Send this to me. This is great. It's absolutely great. Thank you so much. 100%. 100%.
Not a sin. I cannot absolve you. Mega based. Hello, what up, nuds?
I think we're going to have a good one. I'm going to string together like a longer intro, but that's definitely got to be part of it. Right? The intro gets even longer. Yeah, this intro is going to be like 30 minutes. So like the stream is going to start like 5 minutes afterwards. It's going to be epic. It's going to be epic. I love it. I love it. Long intro. Oh, I have to keep watching? I have to keep watching? Hold on. Let me keep watching.
Hello. Hello. 恥ずかしい。シャイになるからそんな。Welcome to Welcome to The Legal Mindset さんチャンネル。どのパフパフ。はいです。そういうことニューイントル No. So you can I kiss your head to know I'm your lover or just a friend? You are my wife. I'm your husband. You forgot?
Okay, I think that's it right there. Oh my God, so cute. I'm dead, guys, right now. I mean, like, man, I can be killed by like Vox Tenga stuff that can make me cry, but this is so adorable and so wholesome and so cute. I'm like actually crying right now. This is what you guys got me to do. That was so cute. That was so cute. Oh my God. Thank you guys. Thank you. I mean, if this isn't winning, if this isn't winning, what is winning, right? In life, right? You have certain goals, right? That's a life goal. It's a life goal right there. It's a life goal checked off, right? It's a life goal checked off. So thank you very much to Poe with her English stream. So much. So cute. Definitely part of the one. Hit the like button for Legal Mindset lore, which is just developing over time here. Just developing over time. Douglas Diaz, welcome as a new member. Thank you so much. Kawazi says, Arbata Zipardem is tea with percent. I love coffee, so I went for coffee with. As a poll, no to communism. Sorry for OT legal mindset. No, the polls know. Polls get it. Like, I like polls, like, especially younger polls, like, they're super based because, and the older polls as well, but they know, like, hey, this shit didn't work, right? I mean, anybody, even like if you speak to most people from, Slavic states that were under the Iron Curtain, right? They're like, yeah, that shit clearly didn't work, right? I don't know why everybody in the West is so obsessed with it, because we have decades of proof that shit does not work. It just doesn't. And there's not going to be a better time this time. It was a better time this time, right? The Khmer Rouge was trying to be a better time that time. So was every other iteration, which is all ended bad, right? So, and once again, that's my personal opinion. It's a political opinion, but whatever. I mean, to be honest,
Not a sin. I cannot absolve you. Mega based.
I'm just saying. Elwin says, remember the time we get the game installed and play? Yeah, that was fun, right? When you just play a game and just enjoy it and don't have this censorship that comes out afterwards. Let people be mad. If they want to be mad, fuck them. They weren't going to buy your game in the first place. Anybody who's mad at your game is not your target audience. Fuck them. Silbury says, so how does making a PlayStation Network account give Sony our biometrics? Generally curious. Someone said that they requires, at least in some countries, Silbury, maybe not every country, but some countries require a face scan. So that is required in certain countries. Genuinely curious. Also, a 50K bounty involved Asmon Gold. Probably not a topic. Well, I've already covered that. So any of the bounties, I think, are direct actionable threats of violence and are something you could file a police report over, something that is against the terms of service of the platforms. So I think they should be taking these people off and removing them from the platform for a direct threat of violence. I really do believe that. Gemma said, some issue with cross-platform user ID, friend requests, and blocking broken. Banning PC goes through Valve. AH needs ID control, it seems. I'm not getting your point there. Sorry, maybe a little bit too many acronyms, but I mean, look, I know that Sony is trying to take more control. That's clear. EU cuts the balls off of Apple. Sony should be careful. They should be afraid of regulation. That is true. Willery said Sony caught changing PSN policy. How Helldivers? That's what I just showed. So that was the May 3rd versus after May 3rd, before May 3rd, after May 3rd. Brainfight says, scream about Sony, but two other companies are stumping you from beneath too. You are a Sony plus Stream plus HD2 meat stack. Know your penetrators. Well, that is one hell of a spit roast, my friend. It's one hell of a spit roast. All right. So, yeah, that's what's going on with Helldivers. I'll stay on top of that if there's any new updates or anything going on right there. By the way, I officially beat. I just saw Lydia posted. So Filipinos, 7.8%. I beat Lydia. She's only 7% Filipino. Sorry. I just love the Philippines. 8.8% more. 0.8% more Philippines, baby. What's up? Get wrecked, Lydia. Get wrecked. Stay in the U.S. Asia for the Asians, baby. Let's do it, Southeast Asia. Much love for my brothers and sisters over here in SEA. Speaking of which, let's talk about MyHolo TV. So we have a corpo going down. Here. MyHolo TV. I'm going to read this. I know it's a little small text, but they're going down. They're going to cease operations May 31st. Right. Let me just open it up. I'll try to get this a little bit larger, but it's just not going to be perfect for reading because the font they use is like going to induce blindness. All right. So MyHolo TV went down. Heavy heart, MyHolo TV will officially inactive until further notice. MyHolo TV was established in 2020 with the vision of connecting the worldwide community of anime and VTuber culture through new entertainment mediums and managing talents who seek to be VTubers. While we faced many challenges and learning curves over the course of 4 years, we also had the privilege of working with many immensely skilled talents. We will always be extremely appreciative and grateful for their contributions and their hard work and continued efforts that will have allowed MyHolo TV to produce quality entertainment throughout the years. Nonetheless, after careful consideration and evaluation, we have reached a difficult decision to halt company's operations for 1 year while we restructure. We will no longer have sufficient resources to continue effectively. So they're essentially going to probably do a restructuring, which may involve a bankruptcy. By the way, somebody said it's 40 Celsius in Makati. In the Philippines and Manila, it was 41 Celsius here in Bangkok the other day. So just so you know. Regarding the talents, Liliana Vampea and Lunaris Urufi will be under a new revised contract regarding the uses of their IP and limited services. So they're going to continue with using their IP. So they're going to keep their models under a different contract. Right? Loyola Lightbringer's selective intellectual property, her CORD character outfit, and all of her social media ownership will be acquired, meaning she's going to buy it out. Carrot Karomi will be returning to her original identity as Carrot upon mutual agreement for early release of the partnership, while the intellectual property will remain with the company. So some certain IP is going to remain with the company. Liliana and Carrot will be graduating and resume their independent activities on the 1st of June. So after the end of the month. So events planned and merge place by May 2024 will be continued. You're going to have plans posted on 31. Social media will not be deactivated, but will be an active service and archive. Fan mails received by May 31 will be forwarded. You can give any inquiries to service at MyHolo TV from Kelwin Tan May 1st. So we've had a couple corpos going down recently. This is just another one. Interesting to see what they're doing with the IP. Obviously, there is no right to the IP. A lot of people tag me in this because they kind of, I think they're looking for me to give them an answer. And look, I'm not going to lie to you guys and pretend that if your IP was created by the company, yeah, you don't have a right to the IP. And I know that a lot of people wanted you to get a right to the IP, but unless you negotiated for that in the contract, you don't have the right to the IP. And it sucks. It's unfortunate, but it's not a right? So just understand what's going on there with the termination. They should, right? Because like, obviously, is the company going to use them if they're going bankrupt? No. But mind you, this company is not completely going bankrupt. They're restructuring. So they're saying they're going to be back. So they can still make money. And what they're thinking is, in the long run, after they maybe do a bankruptcy, they're going to try to make money again. So that's probably where they're going with that. And yes, I know Helldivers Discord released an FAQ in regards to linking. Yeah, I know, it's crazy, right? Crazy stuff. So let's see what we got here. AH has no control to ban. Okay. Lydia Tan, aka Lydia Tan Line Neko Girl. Yes. Lydia getting in trouble for her naughty mouse pad with quite the Gyaru knockers. Beeve saying, will EU slap Sony with a lawsuit for this reason? They honestly, they should. because they just defrauded certain customers in the EU. If the EU wants to protect its citizens, its residents, its taxpayers, it should hit Sony with a lawsuit. It should hit Sony with sanctions, right? If they want to do something good for once, instead of being useless fucks, I mean, they should do that. Invader Talks says PlayStation Network is unavailable to 126. One of those being China. Yeah, this absolute idiocy is going to cost Sony and Valve a lot of money in refunds. 9Hell for 40 Thai bot. Thank you. Going to get me some good pad kapow with that today. Thank you, 9Hell. Or in a month, right? But whatever. I'm feeling some pad kapow today. Now I'm back from the Philippines to Thailand. I get that spicy food again, right? Somtam. I love fucking somtam. So good. Papaya salad. Oh my God. Changed your life. But yeah, you definitely feel me with the heat. I know. Douglas Diaz for 5 Legal Mindset memberships. Thank you, DDs. That's the type of double Ds I like to see. Thank you so much, Douglas. Appreciate your support. Music and Fiction says a lawyer's problem. It hurts when IP. Music and Fiction. I just got this to say to you.
Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you!
Long-time viewer in Music and Fiction who's earned the right to give me some shit. Appreciate you, though. You got me on that one. You definitely got me on that one with your lawyer joke, bro. That was... All right. Okay. Hanzo for 5. Thank you so much for the 5, Hanzo. Absolutely based. Definitely not.
Fighting monkey.
Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for supporting this channel. Allow me to do this on a regular basis and come back with just fun stuff for you guys. I like the Spike Man says, have you heard of the new flavor girl Pippa made last night? Oh no, Pippa must be stopped. She is becoming the most powerful CEO restraining orders. Sakana's gonna come in with the elbow. Gonna come in for the elbow with the top rope. Oh no. Kawa Super Dem says, as much as the EU is, they sometimes pull, yeah. They do some shit. All right. Well, we have a commercial to watch here. And that is Panda Cheese. Let's actually watch this. It's 3 minutes. For those that have not seen this. I have actually not seen this. So let's watch Panda Cheese.
انت ما جبتش جبنه باندا للعيال؟
مفيش داعي اكل كتير. حلوه يا جميل. Just you know why
باندا ما يتقلهاش لا.
اعمل لك سندوتش جبنه مع الولاد يا صلاح؟
مش دلوقتي. Just you know why.
Never deny the panda.
باندا ما يتقلهاش لا.
Never say no. Never. You're not allowed to.
فايز.
Oh, I've seen
اعمل لك معايا سندوتش جبنه. Just you know why.
باندا ما يتقلهاش لا.
صباح الخير يا استاذ صفي. يلا عشان الفطور. النهارده سندوتشات جبنه.
لا والله ماليش نفس. Just you know why. We'll buy and buy.
ما يتقلهاش لا.
This guy is gonna haunt your fucking dreams.
قلت لك موزاريلا باندا يا عبد العزيز. الاوردر ما فيهوش جبنه.
Just you know why.
والله هو.
باندا ما يتقلهاش لا.
Oh god. We got another minute of this.
ايه ده؟ ما تيجي نجيب باندا يا بابا.
يا ابني ما جبنا حاجات كتير.
Just you know why.
Got the song. Got the song.
Why you and I will buy and
باندا ما يتقلهاش لا.
Oh god. That's so good. It's so good.
بابا مش هنجيب باندا يا بابا.
just you know why.
Oh, so good. That's so good. Thank you so much for that one, guys. Thank you for that suggestion earlier. God damn it. We got to get some cheese, guys. Somebody said, damn it, the panda again. I saw this out as a kid, and it has haunted me ever since. Well, you're welcome. For those that are in America and going to try to sleep, good luck. Good luck sleeping right now, guys. That said, stay base. Keep it going out there, and I will catch you all on the next one. Peace.
Maybe I have a chance.